Hello everyone. Once again, welcome to the class of economics. Today, we will discuss what are the methods of measuring national income. Before discussing the method of measuring national income, let us recall the concept of circular flow of income. Circular flow of income tells us that money keep on moving from one sector to another. And we know that there are three phases of circular flow of income, right? Production phase, income phase, and expenditure phase. In the production phase, we produce some output. In income phase, incomes are generated or incomes are distributed, right? And in expenditure phase, income earned are spent on the purchase of goods and services, right? So based on these phases of circular flow of income, we are having three methods of measuring national income. We have value added method or product method. Number two, we have income method, and third, we have expenditure method. Okay, we will talk about value added method. Value added method is known as product method or net output method or industrial origin method. What is value added and what does it measures? It measures contribution made by all producing unit to domestic product in an accounting year, and it is measured it is calculated as the difference between the value of output and value of intermediate consumption. Okay, so if you subtract or if we subtract the value of intermediate consumption from the value of output, we get value added. But why we are subtracting value of intermediate consumption from the value of output? That is because to avoid problem of double counting. What is double counting? Double counting means counting of the value of the same product more than once. If you are counting the value of the same product more than once, then it's a double counting. So to avoid this double counting, we have to subtract IC from value of output. Okay, let's take an example. Suppose there are three producers: farmer, beggar, and grocer. Farmer produce rice, beggar produce bread from rice, and grocer sell bread to the final user or to his customer. Okay. Now farmer produces rice, and the price and the value of that rice is rupees 1000. Okay. And for the sake of simplicity, let's assume that intermediate consumption of the farmer is 0. Okay. So the value of rice, the value added of rice will be rupees 1000. Now beggar purchase rice from farmer at rupees 1000 to make bread. Okay, so beggar is purchasing rice from farmer to purchase to make bread. So the price of rice, that's rupees 1000, is the intermediate consumption of beggar. Okay, and now beggar, he adds some value. Let's say he added the value of rupees 1000, and now the value of bread costs rupees 2000. So now grocer purchase bread from beggar. Okay, he purchased bread from beggar at the rupees which cost rupees 2000. Okay, so rupees 2000 is the intermediate consumption of grocer because he is going to sell that bread to the final users, right? So rupees 2000, the amount of bread which is purchased from the beggar, is a intermediate consumption for the grocer. Grocer added some value, let's say rupees 200. He added a value of rupees 200, and now the value of bread, the final value of bread is now rupees 2200. Okay, so at rupees 2200, the grocer sell bread to the final user or to his customer. All right. Now, what is the total value of output? It's 5200, and total value of intermediate consumption is rupees 3000. If we subtract total value of intermediate consumption from the total value of output, we get value added, that is rupees 2200. Okay, so if we don't subtract the value of intermediate consumption from the value of output, what will happen? There will be a problem of double counting. If we don't subtract the value of intermediate consumption, then we will be calculating, or we will be estimating the value of rice more than once. In our case, we will be counting the value of rice 3 times. Okay, once here, second here, and thirdly here. Okay, so the problem of double counting arises if we don't subtract intermediate value of intermediate consumption from the value of output. So we have to subtract intermediate consumption from the value of output to get value added. Okay, now let's talk about the step of estimating national income using value added method. Okay, the first step is to identify or classification of producing unit. Here we have to classify or identify producing unit into sector. Okay, so we have to identify which sector which producing sector belongs to which sectors. Okay, for example, like if it is fishing, then we can say that, oh, it's belong to primary sector. If it is transportation, then we can say that it belongs to tertiary sectors. Okay, so first we have to identify or classify producing unit. Second, we have to estimate or calculate gross value added at market price, or GDP at MP. GVA at MP is equal to GDP at MP. Don't forget this. Okay, to find out the value of GVA MP, first we have to find out the value of gross value output, that is GVO at MP. Okay, first we have to find out the value of gross value output at market price, and gross value output at market price is equal to sales plus change in stock. Okay, sales comprises of domestic sales and export, and change in stock is equal to closing stock minus opening stock, and sales is also equal to price into output. Okay, after finding GVO, we can find GVA by subtracting intermediate consumption from GVO. If we subtract intermediate consumption from GVO, we get GVA MP. Okay, and intermediate consumption comprises of domestic purchase and import. After finding GVA, gross value added method, gross value added at market price, then we should calculate domestic income. Okay, domestic income is nothing, it is equal to your net domestic product, NDP at FC, or net value added at FC. Okay, so we have to estimate domestic income of each sector. And how can we estimate? We know that GVA MP is equal to GDP MP, right? So GDP MP will bring the value of GDP MP here, and we have to convert GDP MP into NVA. You don't have to memorize this formula. Okay, you have to memorize only number A, these two. Okay, AB formula, and the third step, the formula of third step, you don't have to memorize, because if you have this GVA or GDP, you can easily convert to anything. Right? So GDP is here, and we have to find domestic income, right? So gross to net, we have to convert gross to net. So we know that gross to net is minus depreciation, right? And we have to convert MPDFC. So to convert MPDFC, we have to subtract NIT, right? So calculation of domestic income, if we subtract depreciation and NIT from GDP MP, we get domestic income. Right? Now last step is clear. We want to find out national income, and national income is equal to nothing, but it is equal to NNPFC. Okay, national income is equal to NNPFC. Remember this. Okay, so if we add NFIA to NDPFC, we get NPFC, national income, right? You don't have to memorize number 3 and number 4 formula. Okay, you have to memorize these two formula, this one and this one, GVO MP and GV MP. After that, it's all about conversion. Okay, now let us solve some question before solving. Uh, there are while calculating, there are certain precautions to be taken. Okay, number one is to avoid double counting of output. We have to avoid double counting of output. Now there are two ways of avoiding double counting. One, check only value added of each sector. We have discussed earlier in the first part. If we subtract IC from value of output, we get value added, right? So taking only value added, or if we take only the value of final product. Okay, this is a way to avoid double counting. Number two, sales and purchase of second-hand goods should not be included. Okay, why? Because their value had already been included in the national income of the year in which they were produced. So we are not going to include it again. All right. Third, sales of purchase of shares and bonds should not be included again because it's only a financial transaction. Okay, so sales and purchase of shares and bonds, it's only a financial transaction, and it does not include or which is not correspond to the flow of goods and services. Okay. Number four, we have production by illegal activities like smuggling, theft, etc. should not be included again. So all illegal activities are excluded from the national income. Okay. Fifth, services produced for self-consumption by producer and consumers should not be included. Why? Because services like housewife, kitchen gardening, right, and services by your mother to your families are known as non-market transaction, and non-market transactions are not included in the estimation of national income. Okay, so these are some precautions to be taken care before estimating or calculating national income. Now let us solve some questions. Okay, in this question we have to find value added by firm A and firm B. So what you are going to find, value added by firm A means what? GVA at MP of firm A and GVA MP of firm B. Okay, so you have to find out value added of firm A and value added of firm B, that is GVA MP of firm A and GVA MP of firm B, and we have to find GTP MP, right? So your GTP MP will be equal to GVA MP of firm A plus GVA MP of firm B. Remember this. Okay, now remember again, any calculation, okay, you have to start with GVO. If the value of GVO is not given, then you have to start with GVO. After GVO, you can find out GVA or GTP, right? And after, if you have this GTP, you can convert this into anything, right? To NNP at FC, GTP at FC, GNP at FC, anything. You can convert it into anything. So first, at any case, you have to find GVO. Second, after GVO, you have to find GVA or GDP. Okay, at MP, sorry, at MP. Got it? Now let us solve this question. We have two firms, right? So let us start with firm A. Firm A. So like I said, we have to start with GVO. Firm A equal to, the formula of GVO is sales plus change in stock, right? And we know that sales comprises of domestic sales and export, right? So the number one and two. Number one is a domestic sales by firm A, and number two is a export by firm A. So this is a part of sales by firm A. Okay, so number 1 and 2 is the sales of firm A. Now 4,000 plus 1,000 is the sales of firm A, and value of change in stock is not given, so we'll take it as 0, and we have 5,000. After finding GVO, we have to find GVA, right? GVA or GTP at MP. So now GVA at GTP MP is equal to GVO MP minus intermediate consumption, right? So what is the value of GVO? 5,000, and IC 1200. Now remember, intermediate consumption comprises of domestic purchase and import again, right? So any purchase by a firm is a intermediate consumption. Now in case of firm A, purchase by firm A is a intermediate consumption of firm A. Okay, so we have to subtract intermediate consumption of firm A to the GVO, gross value output of firm A. Okay, and we get the answer 3,800 crores. After finding for firm A, let us find out for firm B. Like I said, we have to find out GVO first. So let us see what is. Let us see the sales of firm B. We have in Roman number 4, sales by firm B, right? Change in stock is not given, so we'll check the value as 0. You have 2,940 crores. After finding GVO, we have to find GVA, and the formula of GVA is GVO minus IC, right? And GVO is 2,940, and IC, it's a purchase by firm B. It's in Roman number 5, right? Purchase by firm B is an IC of firm B. So we'll subtract GVO of firm B by your IC of firm B. So 2,940 minus 1,800 is equal to 1,140 crores. Now this is your value added of firm A, and value added method of firm B. Okay. After finding value added of firm A and firm B, we have to find GTP-MP, right? We know that GTP-MP is a summation of GVA-MP of firm A and GVA-MP of firm B, right? And here's your answer: 3,800 plus 1,140 is equal to 4,940 crores. Okay, now let us solve the second question. You have to find out net value added at factor cost. Net value added means what? Net means N, right? Net value added NVA at FC. This is also equal to NDP at FC, right? This is your domestic income, right? So you have to find out domestic income, or NVA at FC, or NDP at FC. Now price is given, output is given, excise duty is given. Excise duty is your indirect tax, right? Depreciation is given, change in stock is given, intermediate cost is given. Now like I said, we have to find out GVO first, right? GVO first. So GVO is equal to sales plus change in stock, and sales is also equal to price into output, right? Sorry, it should be price into output. Okay, it should be price into output. Okay, so price into output plus change in stock. So price is 25 and output sold is 1,000. That is your sale. 25 into 1,000 plus change in stock is, it's Roman number 5 minus 500, and you get the answer 24,500. After finding GVO, the next step is to find out GVA, right? And the formula of GVA is GVO minus IC. So 24,500 minus IC is given in Roman number 6, 7,000, and you get the answer 17,500. Then what we have to find? We have to find NVA or NDP to FC, right? So it's all about conversion, okay? We have to convert NVA or NDP, okay? We have to find at FC, right? Is equal to, it should be FC, okay? FC. All right, we have to find NVA at FC and VA at FC from this, okay? GDP at MP. So from gross to net, what we are going to do, we have to subtract depreciation, right? And from MP to FC, you have to subtract NIT. So GVA minus depreciation minus NIT. It should be FC, okay, not MP. FC should be FC, okay. NVAFC or NDBFC. So NVAFC is equal to GVAMP minus depreciation minus NIT, okay. Then we get the answer 11,500 crores, okay. So this is how we solve or we estimate national income, okay. And here are two questions. You try this question. If you have any doubt, any queries, you can post your question on WhatsApp or in the comment section, okay. See you in my next class. Till then, take care.